What's tonight, folks? If this team get beat, we in the final four.
He's a poor man LeBron, bro, when it comes to trades. It's like, you guys look at, KD, what you go
down 3 games is a quick sweep.
Not cap if you want to. Cap if you want to.
You know what's in me.
When I said that they let James Harden do the same thing and let Kevin Durant do the same thing, and they're essentially letting James Harden do the same thing again.
It'll cause a quick freeze.
I said Kevin Durant should have took a 50-50 blame, and Westbrook should have took a 50-50 blame too.
MJ fade away with the eyes closed.
Down, you feel me? What's up, fellas? We back in the building. It's beautiful ass Monday. It is kind of nice out here in Jersey. It's 50 degrees out here. You know, it went from 38 to 50. So it's kind of nice out this motherfucker. You feel me? But we back with the boys. We got some shit on the agenda. Boo-Up, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling tired, but you already know, man. Let's get it.
So he feeling tired. How you feeling, Moo?
Hey, you know I'm good, man. Grabbing, you know what I'm saying? Feel me? But I'm here. Let's get it in, man.
All right. So we're going to jump right into it. Jokic had a crazy last 2 games. Get that right now. All right. So on the 7th, he had 56 points. 5 blow. Oh, no, it's turnovers, maybe. He had 8 assists, 16 rebounds. 9 of those was defensive, 7 offensive. He shot 60% from the 3-point line, 57% from the field. And then on the 8th, the very next day, that was against the Wizards, though. Let me point that out. That was against the Wizards. And they lost. On the 8th, they come back and they play Atlanta. They got to win. By 30, plus 30, I think that's what it says right there. Bang. But he scored 48. He had 3 steals, 8 assists, 14 rebounds, 11 of them with defense, 3 offense. He went 50% from 3 and 58% from the field. So I'm going to pose a question. We'll kind of dive into the latter a little later. But do you think Jokic is trying to make a strong case so the critics can't deny him? Voters fatigue don't come into factor. Do you think he's trying to be MVP one more time? Boo-Up.
I don't think he's personally that's his mission to a degree. I just think he's playing the best brand of basketball that he knows how to play. And it's scary. The man, to me, is clearly the best player in the world right now. He's just on another level when you just look at his understanding of the game right now. He's just in full control of the game. For me, I will say that I need some more out of Jamal Murray, bro. Personally, I think if he don't win the MVP, it's because the team record not good. What I'm seeing from Jamal Murray, and I'm a fan of Jamal Murray, but it's still he's sipping that championship Kool-Aid, bro. He just ain't never really hit that next level I think a lot of us was anticipating. And and when I look at him, I think I said it last year when they won 2 years ago now, I guess, when they won the title. I think I said a couple of weeks after that happened, that I thought that Jamal Murray was better than Jaylen Brown, and that's laughable now, honestly. That I said that.
So, it was laughable then. I remember I laughed at you.
He hooping right now, bro. He on a historic. He averaged a 30-point triple double right now is just insane, bro.
Mooch?
So and kind of trickle on or touch on what I talked why they're so disappointing right now.
Breaking up.
Hold on, sorry. Y'all can hear me?
Good.
Yep.
All right, for sure. So, like I said a few weeks ago, it comes down to the play of Jamal Murray. Like, the way I see Jokic balling is he's basically saying, like, I'm pulling my weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm balling over here. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, right? But it seems like the guy who we're supposed to be looking at as my number 2 isn't. And that has been a strong narrative literally ever since we won the championship. You're on the court, you're available. A lot of the narrative before that was you weren't healthy. So you're healthy now. You got to be producing at the same level, not at the same level, at least at a level to the point where it translates to wins. And it can't be a game plan for a coach to specifically pick on you. I've seen that the past few games, right? Like I'm seeing coaches deliberately target Jamal Murray, put him in isolation, right? Not just on defense, but even on offense, right? Get him to the line because his free throw percentage is not good as well right now. So, like when I see Jokic and his balling and he's turning his shit up to the next level even more than what he was doing in the past few years, I'm basically looking at him, look Jamal Murray, are you here, bro? Or am I gonna have to go talk to coach to get somebody else? I think that's his mentality right now.
Bua, was that clear for you?
You said, was it clear for me?
Yeah, like could you hear movies clearly?
Not clearly, but I heard the gist of it.
That movie started breaking up again in there. Listen. Troy's gonna see.
He come.
Troy's gonna say this. All right, that's what you were gonna say. No, I said this years ago, probably a year into this podcast, that Jamal Murray hasn't shown me enough, and I kind of fell into a little bit of the hype, and them winning the championship. You kind of got to give a guy, especially the second guy, a little props. Not like I do Chris Middleton when they win a championship. Murray was a big part of that, I guess. Plenty would say. But I did say when we had that talk about Jamal Murray and the Disneyland trip, that it just wasn't. I needed to see more for a consistent basis. I'm not sure if y'all remember me saying that, but Troy said that. I need to see it for a consistent amount of time, and I think right around this mark is where the consistency should be stable with Jamal Murray, and he's just not that. But to Joker, Joker's gonna ball out no matter what. But that just leads me to the NBA, the NBA MVP ladder, because Jokic is currently number 1 on NBA.com as the front runner for MVP at 29.9 points, 13.4 rebounds, and 10.4 assists. Mulich, I want to hear you break up some more. You can go first. There we go.
Don't know if I'm still breaking up or coming in slow, choppy, whatever the case may be. But I think he is one of the front runners. I think he's making a very strong case. I think, like I said, if he ultimately doesn't end up winning, it's probably because of the record. But I mean, yeah, bro's hooping right now. He's basically proving a point. I'm still one of the best players in the league. And I just need my team to kind of help me out a little bit. Shit. But
Hey, I can't let you get off with the one of the best. That's like for a nigga like De'Aaron Fox. This nigga's the best right now.
No,
I mean,
stick to
he
your
definitely
guns.
hooping.
Stick to your guns, man. Stick to your guns. It's one of the best.
He definitely hooping right now. But I mean,
it's more of them.
I was gonna say it's a few rotation right now. And like I said, I think the ultimate plan or the ultimate thing that'll ding him is record. Like I think if they don't end up giving him, the MVP, it'll be because of his record, because of as well as the past. But I don't know. You know how the MVP. A lot of people like shit.
What? What? All right, well, we wait for all the technical difficulties and shit like that. The NBA ladder is Jokic, Giannis, Jason Tatum, Shea, and Karl Anthony Towns is going to round off our top 5. And I'm going to say Karl Anthony Towns. I did not look at this past 3 before we got on, because I was only going to stop there. But for some reason, when I was making the thumbnail and I was deciding what 3 players I wanted to put on a thumbnail, Karl Anthony Towns was about 2 seconds from going on the thumbnail, and I should have put him there and being in 5th place right here on the MVP ladder. Any surprises there, Moo?
If I would say I was expecting that, I would be lying to you, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you, though, because Cat, yeah, don't get me wrong, but he has been hooping. Let me preface this by saying Cat has been hooping. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am shocked. I did not expect to hear one Karl Anthony Towns on this list, bro. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, man, you breaking up crazy.
Stuff like that.
I can't even make out.
I don't know. I got technical difficulties right now. This is actually crazy. I don't know what's going on.
You got one.
Yeah, nah. I thought, it's surprising to me. Shit. I mean, he's hooping. Like I said, don't get me wrong, he's hooping, but MVP is crazy.
Yo, just tell me I'm skipping too. Like, you tell me that I'll be all right, Tell me, I'm fucking.
You're not like you coming in clear. That's the cool part about it. Like, you coming in completely clear.
I got wonky ass internet. Now I can't be the one coming in clear. Boo off and went to the fucking upside down world.
Bro, Buop is in the gulag right now.
And this nigga he down there helping 11 defeat the Demogorgons and shit.
Yeah, I'm freaking chopping up and shit. Like, I don't know what the fuck.
You sound good now.
Oh, did I catch up?
Stop moving.
I gotta be statue the whole time.
Nigga, don't even smile. Like. When you answer, you go. Gotta get a translator in here, Bamu, so his camera don't fucking start skipping. I'm sorry. That's funny to me.
All right,
But anyway,
like
what,
this.
there he is again. It ain't fine.
Maybe if I turn off the camera. Or now.
Nah, nigga, you still breaking up.
Yeah, see, I don't know what's going on, bro.
You can't have an episode like this.
Man, brother, this is wild.
We got one guy that's speaking in robot, and then another one that's just up in the upside down world with L fighting the damn demigod. All right. Come back to us, boo up. Come back.
All right, hold on, give me 1 second.
All right. Moo gonna take a second.
Ridiculous.
Why Moo take that second? Fuck Joker. All right. I'm gonna see it. Now that Boo Up not here, that's right. That's right. Embiid's still better. Injury written Embiid is still better. I don't give a shit. All right. If Embiid wasn't injured, now let me stop. Gotta give a little troll shout out to Boo Up, you know. But yeah, so I don't think Jokic is gonna win the MVP. I don't see them giving him a fourth one. If I want to be serious for a second. I just don't see it happening in today's league. I feel like Shea is finally going to get one. JT could be up there getting one. And hey, who the fuck knows? Karl-Anthony Towns could snag it. You know, it's not that long of a shot. You feel me? He number 5. He just got to inch up 4 more spots. You feel me? He'd be number 1. But if somebody vote Karl-Anthony Towns MVP, I think I'm going to suit up. I think I'm going to have to play in the NBA, guys, and get me one of those MVPs because that means anybody getting them shit. You feel me? But, yeah, I don't think they give it to him. They gave him, what, 3 already? 2 already? 3, right? How many he got? 3? No, this would be his 3rd one, no?
You talking about Jokic and MVPs?
Yeah, he got 2, right?
Almost 5.
Because he got 3?
Yeah, no, bro. He has 3.
He has 3?
Mm-hmm.
That's
I must have missed one.
2020, 2021, 2021, 2022, and then
y'all talking about
last year.
Jokic, right?
Yeah. No, I was just saying, while you was in the upside down world, Mulich, you sound much better now. Mulich was sound like a robot breaking up all over the damn place. You know, we get it. You people gonna click on this video and click right back over because
like a $3 million man and shit.
But I was saying that I just don't see them giving him a 4th one. I just don't see that happening. I think Jay Tatum. I mean, Karl-Anthony Towns is in spot number 5 right now on the NBA ladder. So, shit, Karl might fuck around and win one, you know.
But if he managed to, you know what I'm saying, keep it going at this rate, and they somehow finish a top 3, 4 seed in the West, I could see him getting it.
No, I don't think they give him. I don't see him giving him 4. I think that's what you got to count into effect. You're gonna give him 4? I don't know.
It ain't about. It's not that they giving him 4. He earning them.
Would he be the first? Would he be the first to get 2 back-to-back like that?
I mean, would he be? Jordan won 5 MVPs. I think.
Yeah, Jordan won 5.
He won 91, 92, and then 96, 98. So no, he didn't do back-to-backs. Because the first MVP was 88, I believe.
Yeah, it was like 88, 89, or something like that, because he won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year same year.
Exactly. So that was the 88 year, and then 91, 92, and then 96, 98. So he would probably be the first to ever, or maybe Bill Russell. I can't remember. Maybe Bill Russell did it.
Yeah.
But I just still think he would be earning them. It's not like he's, You know what I'm saying? He's, to me, the best player in the world. You know what I mean? I can't give nobody else that title but him right now. Over the last 3 years of basketball, that's not been the player more productive, more available. You know what I'm saying? Just more consistent than him.
So Bill won 5-2, but he won 3 in a row, and then his first one was in 57, and his last one was in 64. But he won 3 in 60, 61, and 62.
And Bird won 3 in a row.
Yeah, Bird won 3 in a row.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying it's impossible for him, but I just don't know. I think with the younger talent that's coming up, like I said, I can see Shea, JT definitely with the season he's having getting up there. I mean, shit, Giannis is number 2. Giannis is number 2 in the votes right now. So I mean, who's to say Giannis, don't go stupid the rest of the season? Because Giannis is averaging. Giannis is averaging 32.6, 11.6, and 6.6. So I mean,
yeah.
He's hooping as well, but it's the losing for Giannis stuff right now. He's trying to get into, like, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, the Nuggets don't have the best record either right now. I think their records are somewhat the same, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, I still think it's just the floor raising for me that I see from Jokic night in and night out. A lot of these games through this early season, Jamal Murray wasn't healthy. You got a depleted bench. Aaron Gordon was out for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? Michael Porter Jr. is not the most consistent player. He's good when he's good, but like he's bad, he's bad. That's just being real. So I think he's doing an ultimate kick. He's putting up historic type numbers. So I think it's going to be almost similar to when Russell Westbrook won that MVP, right? Like,
possibly, yeah.
when you're doing a carry job and you put up these historic numbers, I think people will recognize it.
Yeah, the fans, not the voters.
The voters will too, though, because his numbers are essentially going to be better than they were. This is going to be his best year.
Nah, I can
Possibly,
see.
yeah, because he is playing better on defense. I think that's probably why he might get an extra nod.
Nah, if OKC could keep up their pace and they finish in the first seed again, I can see Shea getting it.
Jay might get it, yeah, if that happens. But
Look at right now, because right now, if we end play and we go to the playoffs, the Nuggets is going to the play-in, and Thunder got home court advantage.
But at the same time, though, I wouldn't be surprised if Jason Tatum got the award as well.
But that's what I'm saying. I just don't think. I don't know. To me, I'll say 10%. Until I see it, I'll say 10% for me. Maybe it'll change a little bit later in the season, but right now, because we're basing it off of basically the 2 games he had. Right. Well, I'm not saying but that's what the conversation is sparked from. Everybody's going crazy because he had these 2 monster-ass games. Plus, he's been playing very well this season. I know you're going to say that, but I don't know. I'm not ready to give out judgment just yet.
But when it comes to the MVP, I'm just saying, like, we have to look at all the, at least for me, I look at all the factors. And Jokic is, he's definitely playing very well on offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball as well. But looking at Jason Tatum, just to make a case for him, leading his team in scoring, rebounds, assists, and steals, it's like that's something you can't really ignore.
Talking about historic.
As far as MVP, so it's like I think
Mm-hmm.
you definitely got to look at him and give him the nod as well. Like, or well, what he's doing over there, best team in the league. He is leading his team in every major category that there is. So I wouldn't be surprised if it went his way. That's all I'm saying.
No cap though. Like, for me, I think a lot of times when we have these debates, I think a lot of times we all kind of struggle with verbiage, right? Like the language. Should Jason Tatum and Shea be considered in the MVP race? Absolutely. The question is, are they doing enough to be
absolutely
considered better than? I don't think so.
Absolutely.
Because I think both of them respectively, especially Jason Tatum, he's playing on the best team in the league.
You could say that, but even if I'm taking the Celtics out of it, Shea would be leading. Shea is still in first place in the West with the best record
fine.
in
I
the
was
West.
going to get to Shea
So,
as well. He's playing on the best team in the Western Conference.
Here we go.
It's just what it is. It does matter.
Out of all three, the Thunder and the Nuggets.
The award is called the Most Valuable Player Award.
Right, and the most valuable if you take Shea off his team.
off of his team and took Jokic off of the team, the Celtics would be supremely much better.
That's fine, but take Shea off his team. They ain't in first place.
Guess what? They don't place because we know if you take the best player off of
any team. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't like that argument.
But the reality still being it when you're talking about an MVP race, somewhere it's going to get nastier for the guy like a Jokic. When you remove him from his team might be a lottery team.
Shit, they're in the lottery right now.
They're going to be a lottery team. You said what?
I said they playing for the lottery right now, scratching to get out the plane.
I mean, yeah, but it's early on. I don't think they're gonna end that way. But and if they do end that way, then I think that's gonna hurt Jokic's case, obviously, to win the MVP. I'm only saying he can win the MVP if he's like a top 4 seed for sure.
Right, but I'm just going off of right now and what they are right now. So if we talking about his
right
monster
now,
games and can he be the MVP, then I would say I'm definitely would take Shea or JT above.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Donovan Mitchell.
I was gonna say Donovan Mitchell as well. I'm not gonna cap.
Donovan Mitchell,
Donovan Mitchell is hooping right now. Yeah, for me, again, it's just still an early season. I would never say a player like Jokic, especially a guy that has won the award already, like is doing anything but earning that award again. Like he earned all the other 3, he would be just simply earning this one. It's not like to me, you can argue that they gave Embiid the award more than they ever gave Jokic the award.
No, Embiid earned it.
I'm not saying he did, but I'm saying if you're gonna say they gave somebody an award, that's the guy.
I ain't saying they gave nobody. Well, I'm just saying when I said give him the award, I mean, are they going to vote and give him the award again? Like,
I'm just saying, like, for me, both of them was deserving of the award. Like, I'm not saying that, but I can name other players that was, I ain't gonna say others, plural, but I'm sure if I go back in history, you can find players that might have got an award because of voter fatigue.
Not without the other guy going off and doing his thing too.
Yeah, but there was a lot of controversy around that Embiid shit. So it doesn't matter though, because again, Embiid had a hell of a year, and Jokic is having a hell of a year right now, and Tatum's having a hell of a year. Shea's having a hell of a year. So it's a lot of good basketball being played right now.
Agreed. But I'm gonna move it along. You said everybody's having a great year. I don't think DeMar DeRozan is after these comments. Did you guys see what the exec said about DeMar DeRozan?
Yes.
Snippets for sure.
Some interest though. It's not much. It's just he said he is who he is. What he does takes away from what both Fox and Sabonis do because they tend to operate in the same areas on the court. Another exec said DeRozan is a very highly skilled player who is great to have in the locker room and a guy who you would give the ball to at the end of the game. But his play hasn't driven wins, and it is something that unfortunately has been the case throughout his career, and it's part of why he changes teams a bunch. Boo-Wop, how you feeling about those comments?
Everybody got an opinion, right? I mean, he's not entirely wrong. I mean, DeRozan and De'Aaron, I wouldn't say their games are similar. I would say their weaknesses are similar.
No, I didn't say similar. He said they operate in the same part of the court.
Yeah, that's to me them strengths though. Like they got two guys that are deadly in the mid range and getting to the basket. Those are strengths though. Like to me that don't hurt you. What hurts you are the weaknesses. Like it'd be a difference if these two guys could stretch the court. At least one of them. If one of them could stretch the court, this wouldn't be a topic right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they do play similar, not necessarily their game styles, but they just operate in the same areas, is why this exec felt the need to kind of make this post. But I still just think when I look at the Kings, they as a whole, they're just underachieving. Like, granted, they got some injury bugs, like a lot of people. They going through the injury bug and guys in and out the lineups and whatnot, but it's just still relatively underachieving. They have one of the best offensive teams in the league. They just can't stop a coach. So I ain't feeling that statement because it just come off as a little toxic to a degree, like just somebody just want to stir the pot. And we don't know what team this guy works for. He could be just a guy trying to literally stir the pot.
That's true. Knowledge?
Yeah, I think I'm not too sure of how it is. Or let me preface this by saying this. I really don't understand why the comments were made. Yes, we understand the Kings are struggling, but I think it's more due to them trying to fit everybody in the aspects of how they play together, right? You have a really strong rebounder and a really strong inside force in Domantas Sabonis. You got a strong ball handler and somebody who can operate in the mid-range in De'Aaron Fox. And then you have a bigger version of that, but essentially more experience. So I see why he would try to make the comments like that, or see why he would say like it wouldn't work because they operate in the same space, but it can work because you have two guys that can operate in the same space on the opposite sides of the floor, if that makes sense, right? Like you can have Domantas in the inside with Malik and his, shooting ability back. You have that on the outside, plus Keon Ellis, and we all know Keegan Murray, the three-point shooter, breaking record that he was as a rookie. So they have the spacing, right? And they have the inside work and the outside work, and they have the mid-range. It's really just trying to Mike Brown's job and all the rest of the other jobs to put it together. And them losing Joey Fernandez in the offseason, that hurt because he was a big part of their offensive scheme. We know Mike Brown is always about, rebounds, defense, and hustle, and mainly effort. But Joey Fernandez really brought the offensive scheme together when it came to the Kings team. So them losing him in the offseason definitely hurt. But it's just the fact of them that just got to put it together. Understand how the strengths work with De'Aaron, with DeMar, how Sabonis and Malik Monk fit into all of this, and then how the role players can, supplementally help them where they need be. But that offense, to me, is not the problem. De'Aaron is still scoring at a high clip. DeMar is still getting his shots when he needs to get his shots. Domantas Sabonis is still killing on the rebounds. It's just, like what I've said, they can't fucking stop a teardrop. It comes down to they can't play defense. Like, as big and as good as Domantas is on the offensive side of the board, and as far as rebounding goes, he's not his strength isn't defense, and I think a lot of teams know that, right? And a lot of teams know that they are small on the inside. So when you have guys like a Trey Lyles, like a Domantas Sabonis, like a Keon Ellis, who's still relatively young, that are known to be weak defensively and pick up fouls quickly, teams key on that. So it's just the fact that there's a defensive scheme that Mike Brown likes to run, but he doesn't have the personnel to run it. But because the offensive personnel is at a high point and they're starting to click, I'm pretty sure him, and Vladdy, they're reluctant to make a trade or to fill a piece or move a person because of how the chemistry is working and what can be in the future, or like the potential of the Kings offense. So, unnecessary comments at the end of the day, honestly, because it's the first year, so we don't really know how the team is going to play out, and it's still very, very early in the season, so they can literally get it together a few weeks before the All-Star break, and then after the All-Star break, take off. So you never know what happens.
That is true. For me, I guess you would say DeMar is pretty much one-trick pony, right? You know his game, what his game is. That's his game. That's it. With the way the game is evolving and how you want your players to step out and take more threes, DeRozan just isn't that type of guy. So I could understand in that sense, if the exec is saying him not being able to keep up with the times, or not being able to, or not being willing to expand his range, is makes the team worse because he operates in the same position as Sabonis, or where you have to use Sabonis on top of the key instead of down low, where you can get offensive rebounds or second chance points and stuff like that. So I think I kind of understand what the one exec what he says, and I also kind of agree with the last thing the other one said too, when he mentioned later on there was another piece of it where he goes on to say that he doesn't carry a winning culture or he doesn't carry winning with him, and you see that throughout his career, and I think that's a true statement too. Because if we do look at DeRozan's, even though he was winning in the East, getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, battling LeBron second rounds and stuff like that, his career does tell that story that he just doesn't bring a winning culture. So I'm not mad at the exec for saying it. I don't think it's whole true, but I do agree with Mulich. It is too early in the season to decide whether a guy fits with a team or not.
Yeah.
Talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and I understand why, they say, well, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I feel like it's kind of not fair because it's hard to win in the East when you constantly run up into, a single player who's literally the best player in the world on the fucking tear. So I can't really hold the Toronto years against him per se, because outside of the few years that, they did see each other in the Eastern Conference Finals, they met up in the second round of the playoffs a lot. And that's how the nickname LeBronto came. So I can't really hold that against them, but I think the Spurs, Chicago, those are more money moves, honestly. But it's a difficult statement. I'm not gonna lie to you because there is low key some truth to it, but it's just kind of because you don't really know how it's gonna play out at the end of the day, right? Like you can easily say that, oh well, they operate in the same space, so it's not gonna work. But I mean, it could work.
I mean, who I've been saying for years, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown going to work in that work.
Yeah, see, we've seen that work, right? We seen two shooters work. So I mean, there's a lot. It depends ultimately. And like I said, it's early in the season. They may get it together and figure it out.
Yeah, they just might. But talking about figuring out and getting it together, I'll move on to the next segment where I got a couple of just bullshit things that trade ideas. There you go. That's the word. That's what I was looking for. Trade ideas. Big names moving to different teams, seeing how the guys feel about that. So Bleacher Report has one right here. And the first name on the list out of the 5 people they named is De'Aaron Fox. And it looks like they got De'Aaron Fox going to the Miami Heat. How are we feeling it, everything? But this is the trade. Let me tell you guys the trade. The trade is Miami receives De'Aaron Fox. Sacramento receives Terry Rozier, Jamie Jaquez Jr., Nikola Jokic, Wayne, whatever, I don't know that damn guy name, and the 2030 first round pick. How you liking that trade, Mo?
I mean, for the Kings, I don't. It's not really that. And for the Kings, I don't know if I like it for them, but at the same time, if that's the case, then you still do have a strong, you can lean on DeMar, you can lean on Sabonis, you can lean on Malik. So you still have a pretty strong crew that you can kind of lean on to stay competitive, especially you bringing in a young Jaime Jaquez Jr., who, is coming off a really strong rookie year. So he's a young player that you can also build into and get him into the fold and whatnot. So, I mean, I wouldn't be too upset at it. I would just be kind of shocked. Like, I didn't think that Sac would make that move. But at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me because De'Aaron looking for a new contract. Would Sacramento be willing to give him that contract? I'm thinking possibly not. So then what's stopping somebody else from, sliding in there, basically?
Boy, did you hear the trade?
Did I hear who?
The trade.
Yeah, I heard the trade.
What do you think about it?
It makes a whole lot of sense for Miami. I mean, honestly, to be honest though, it makes a whole lot of sense for both teams because if you're Sacramento, not I go on record saying this all the time. Like it's like it sucks to be like a super understanding person like me because I see it from both ends. I could understand a team like Sacramento in a small market not wanting to put all their eggs in the basket.
Yeah.
Like you give De'Aaron Fox this money, and granted he's a great player, but you're locked in with him for 6 years at this superstar franchise player max, and you might never make it out the first round of the playoffs.
That's true.
That's a tough reality to look at if you're an owner.
Fair point.
And now if you're Miami with a growing culture, with the with I would say growing culture, I say just an established, culture, right?
Yeah.
And you got Jimmy, and you got Bam, and you got Tyler Hero. You know what I'm saying? And you add a guy like De'Aaron Fox. Now you kind of looking real scary again. Like you looking like, you know what I'm saying, a team that could compete for it all in the East.
Possibly, yeah.
So I can understand the trade a whole lot on both ends, and of course you got some of these diehard Sac fans that'll be like, that's not a great trade, but the reality is you got to just understand how business works. A lot of times you're not going to get back what you put in. A lot of times you be lucky if you break even, but it's better to get something than nothing.
Mm.
I mean, they would have to just get over it, bro, because they did the same thing with Tyrese Halliburton, right? When they traded Tyrese Halliburton for DeMontis Sabonis, a lot of Sac fans were upset about it because they seen the potential in Tyrese Halliburton, but we understand the type of player that De'Aaron is. So, I think ultimately, if they're not willing to pay him, right, or if he's not willing to take that contract and wants to move on to a team to where he feels like he can compete on, or at least a competitor, then I wouldn't be surprised. Shoot, especially a team that might be a bigger market that'd be willing to pay him that money.
Yeah. I mean, hey, go get your bag, Fox. We talk about that. But hey, leave the Rosen alone. You feel me? He ain't do nothing to you. All right. The next trade I got for you is Julius Randle going to the Rockets. The Rockets will get Julius Randle. The Timberwolves will get Jabari Smith, Steven Adams, Jeff Green, and a 2026 first-round pick. Blue Wop is on you.
I think what would essentially happen is that the Rockets would become a little better, right? Julius Randle to me is one of the most unappreciated players in the league. A lot of times, and I ain't gonna say I'm not guilty of it either, but a lot of times we get so loose with our words with these players and shit, man. We get to calling players like Julius Randle trash. A lot of things. Oh, he's trash. And it's like, bro.
That's exciting.
Like, if he's trash at basketball,
how did he
what
get
the
there?
fuck do you think you are?
Garbage juice.
If that man is trash at basketball, averaging 24 points, 11 rebounds, I don't think that's what he's doing right now. I think it's more like 21-7. But when he was a member of the Knicks, he made the All-NBA team twice, led that team to the playoffs twice. I'm just confused about, like, what are we calling players like him trash? So, again, I think the Rockets would be a better team, and I think the Timberwolves, unfortunately, this would be a bad trade for them because they're essentially rebuilding at this point. Jabari Smith is a good young player, but I think Julius Randle can be your number 2 option if he can't be nothing else, and he's doing that for the Timberwolves right now. And to me, all they would be doing is setting the table for Ant to leave soon.
What?
Looking at the T-Wolves, I don't like this trade for them. I'm not even going to lie to you. I don't like this trade for them at all. I think Julius Randle is one of the other strong pieces on this team outside of, a few wing or defensive players. So, like Buab said, they're more in a rebuild stage than anything. But if this trade did happen, it definitely would be a good thing for Houston. Just looking at the outlook where they're at right now, sitting number 3, they're playing really well. Fred VanVleet is playing very well. You got young bull Jalen Green playing very well right now. So they're looking a lot better as a team. Dylan Brooks is playing really good defense. Steven Adams is healthy for the first time in a while, so that's the plus sign. So it definitely would make sense for the Rockets because it would definitely kind of give them that extra oomph that they need, especially going towards the playoffs. But for the T-Wolves, yeah, you would have maybe a year and a half, bro, before Ant-Man decides to take off. Just the way he is, his persona, the type of player he is, the type of person he is, you got a year and a half before he takes the fuck off, bro.
And it sucks.
And he would make it known, like, technically.
I was just going to say it sucks because, like, when a player tastes what he just tasted recently, which is the Western Conference Finals, he want more of that.
You want more of it. He won't stop
ain't no
playing
going back. Yeah, ain't no going back now. And I can see the same thing for a guy like Trae Young, who's probably like, damn, we went to the Eastern Conference Finals and shit, we ain't been no shit since. Like, people don't. That's not a movie that's gonna end well with franchise like this. It don't end well. And I'm playing in a small market. Like it just don't end well.
Yeah, that's the biggest part right there.
Yep.
That's the biggest part right there, bro. Is Minnesota is already battling the fact that they're a small market team, so them making it as far as they did last year with the talent that they had last year was big for them. So if they end up losing more of the talent, which ultimately could be in, the near future, then it's like, yeah, you really don't have no incentive of keeping him there, because then he's going to want to go to a bigger franchise, a bigger market to succeed, and not only succeed because he's got that taste of what a Western Conference championship is, our Western Conference final is. He's going to want to go to try to, gain more, which is the championship. And like I said, the type of player that he is, the persona that he gives off, the demeanor that he has, the swagger that he has as a player, there's no doubt in my mind that that's what he's looking for, right? Like he's looking for, that MVP. He's looking for the accolades, and he's not going to stop till he gets them.
That's facts. I mean, bro, he's from Atlanta, so I can't really necessarily see him going home unless Trey's still there and you want to play with Trey so bad. But
yeah, I don't see that though.
I'm looking at him potentially going to the Lakers or some shit like that to play with maybe like an AD.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what I was thinking too, right? Because looking at the outlook of the league, and how Lakers like to make big splashes for everybody, and how AD's playing with him being a lot more healthy, and the Lakers drafted actually pretty well in this draft, which outside of what people may think, with the Bronny pick or whatever the case may be, you pair AD up with a young Anthony Edwards. Hey man, there's no telling, man. That's all I'm saying.
All right, I got another one for you. It's the Lakers load up on veteran help, which I don't like this one, but Lakers receive Dorian Finney-Smith, Dennis Schroeder. The Nets receive D'Angelo Russell, the nigga named Hood. I just wanted to say that. Cam Reddish, Christian Woods in the 2029 first round pick, top 5 protected. How y'all feel about that move?
They just to be moves for me, like good roster pieces. I don't think the Lakers are winning the championship no matter what happens though. So to me, I'm gonna say this, take tomato. I just don't see it. I'm not in love with that trade at all. So that's, to me, that'll just be essentially trading role players for role players.
Moves? You're on mute.
I'm on mute, bro.
My bad, fellas.
This is fucking up all over the place.
Yeah, it don't move me, bro. Like Dorian Finney-Smith and Dennis Schroeder, dog. Like, didn't y'all go down to Dennis Schroeder path before? Confused.
My life.
That's why I said I don't like it. And
Like,
didn't the Nets have D'Angelo Russell already?
Slut me out.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like,
Slutty.
I'm just like, oh. And then, like, that's not like strong veteran though.
Not at all.
I just don't know. Like, that doesn't move the needle for anything. Like, the problem isn't the bench. You guys drafted very well, right? It's y'all just aren't good. Honestly, it is what it is. Honestly, it's just not good, right? So I don't think that loading up on or quote unquote loading up on veteran help. When loading up is Dennis Schroeder and Dorian Finney-Smith. That I don't think that classifies as loading up.
All right, I got another one. Zach LaVine powers to the Pistons. What the fuck is this? Oh man. The Pistons get Zach LaVine. The Chicago Bulls receive Isaiah Stewart, Tim Hardaway Jr., Simons, don't I say his fucking last name, look like fettuccine, and the 2027 second round pick, sorry. Louis, how you feel about that? Y'all know the dude y'all talking about. His name look like fettuccine. He play on the Pistons.
Now my question would be, does Zach LaVine really move the Pistons that much? Like, does he help the Pistons that much in a sense to where now people feel like they're actually competitive, or is it just a stopover till he finds the place he really wants to go? Because I mean, it doesn't. This doesn't really make sense to me, honestly. Like, I'm thinking that Zach would probably want to go, or at least Detroit would. I think Zach would probably want to go to a competitor at this point, unless he's just looking to get paid. Then, all right, sure, because I'm pretty sure they can be, wouldn't be hesitant to give you that money. But I think when you want to get paid and compete for a championship. So, even if you just somehow have to take less, so I don't think that does anything for really either team, honestly. That's just you there.
Yeah. Buwap, did you go? You said something? I'm sorry. That was a yes?
I think that's a terrible fucking trade for both.
No, I didn't hear your voice. Thank you.
I mean, I ain't gonna say terrible trade. If I'm the Bulls, I'll push the trigger on that. That's about the best you're going to get probably for Zach LaVine. You overpaid him. Yeah, like Zach LaVine is like, to me, he's like a Tubi actor. Like Tubi. By all means, you like Zach LaVine. He do nothing like Gal. Far as the owner, like
it's Buwap turn.
He's not putting seats in the motherfucking he's not putting asses in the seats. Sorry.
Not putting the seats in the ass.
Yeah, whatever they say, he not doing that. He not selling no tickets, and he not winning you no games. So it's just like fuck him. So if I'm the Bulls, I'm just trying to hurry up to get off that contract, get something back for him, and move on, because it's over with. He don't want to be in Chicago no more, so just let him go. Fuck
him. Yeah, fuck Zach. All right, I got your last one. Go ahead,
I just want to say he's the lighter-skinned Bradley Beal. That's all he is, bro. Fuck him.
Fuck him. All right, this is the biggest one. Oh boy. LaMelo Ball creates new Lob City with Victor Wembanyama. San Antonio Spurs receive LaMelo Ball. The Hornets get Keldon Johnson, Ty Jones, Malika, I don't know how to say his name, Branham, the 2025 first round pick lottery protected, 2027 first round pick unprotected, 2027 first round pick unprotected via Atlanta Hawks.
Who's on?
The movie started laughing, so what's on move?
I wasn't laughing because of that. I was doing something else. I think this isn't a bad trade for San Antonio. I mean, if you're looking to get back into, the playoff light or the competitive light, I think this is definitely a move that you want to make. We understand that LaMelo was most likely stagnant as far as team success wise in Charlotte. So putting him into a bigger market in San Antonio, although we realize it's a quote unquote, well, I wouldn't say it's a worse team because they're actually playing a lot better than Charlotte right now. But not living up to the standards of the past. I think that definitely makes a big splash in San Antonio, and it kind of brings back the energy of the team, energizes that fan base. Again, gives them something hopeful to look forward to. And with San Antonio sitting at 11, who knows if this is the push that they need or the move that they need to kind of push themselves over into the playoff for competitive basketball, and not looked at as a volunteer team anymore. So for them, yes, good trade. And then obviously for Charlotte, you turn LaMelo into pick, so you can't be that mad. You can load up on a lot of young talent in the draft, and hopefully something shakes.
What?
To me, this one of them kind of win-win trades. I mean, obviously the Spurs win, but if I'm the Spurs, I get a ass Greg Popovich too. Fuck him. Everybody gotta go. Give me LaMelo and Victor. Fuck him. Oh God, that's just what it is right there. Like I don't mean no harm to nobody, but you got to go. Like LaMelo and Victor for the next 10 years can be insane, bro. That's just that's a no-brainer, bro. So I would do that instantly. That's probably like the best trade you can do right now.
I mean, hey, if San Antonio want to win some more championships, hey, maybe you pull the trigger on something like that. But like I said, under the trade, San Antonio wouldn't do it. It's too crazy of a trade. Too crazy of one to get done by deadline.
You've seen crazier.
Yeah, we have Rudy Gobert. I'm gonna finish off with this question to you guys. Boo-Up. Since you asked it, you answer it. Is LeBron hurting the league by not retiring?
So it's crazy, right? I got this from our favorite other podcast to steal content from, the old Gil's Arena.
No.
The Mr. Rashad Kent. He said, basically that he feels that LeBron is hurting the league by not retiring. And his explanation was simply because Bron is still covering all the headlines because of what he's doing at his age, which is understandable, right?
LeBron James.
And this is the one time I don't really think like Rashad McCants is being overly nasty either, though, because he's saying the reality is what LeBron is doing is still great, but at the same time he just feel like most of the NBA talk so far has been a lot about Bron and what he's doing at this age, and a lot about Bronny and what he's not even doing. You know what I mean? It's just a lot when you think about it. And you see some of these other players in the league, it's like they talk about Bron more than they talk about a guy like Donovan Mitchell, who's having a great year. They probably talk about Bron more than they talk about Tatum, who's having a great year. So on one hand, I understand it and I kind of agree with him. Because at this point, you done shown us that you can play at 40. You done showed us you can play late in your career. On a roster, you've shown us that you can be one of the best players in the world at 37, 38, 39. We've seen that. But as it stands right now, the Lakers since 2020 have only gotten worse and worse. That's it. They're not getting better, and it is like, I think D'Angelo Russell had like a 28-14 game last night. I don't think did Brian play last night? I'm not sure.
No, Brian didn't play last night. He's out with a foot injury.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But then you see a guy like D'Angelo Russell do this, and Anthony Davis put up like 35 or some shit like that. It kind of do seem like Brian may be holding certain players back on his team at this point in his career. Maybe not before, but you can argue that years prior that Brian, you have to sacrifice a lot of your game to play with Brian. And the older he get and he's still playing this way, like, you just probably gonna even have to sacrifice. I ain't gonna even say sacrifice a lot of your game. You just still not gonna be valued because you playing when Brian ain't got it going, or you got to figure out it all while Brian's there. And I said this before, like, it's kind of like similar to when Kobe got old and nobody really wanted to play with him because he Kobe. He stuck in his ways, and
A lot of the young guys like that.
I don't want to say Brian hurt the league, but I just would say I do kind of understand what Rashad McCants was saying.
I mean, I get it, right? There is a point in time where you do get too old for the game. And even if you can still play, that doesn't mean you shouldn't play or you should play. So I think this can be looked at one of two ways. You can look at it as, yeah, he does hurt the league because he takes a lot of the spotlight away from the younger guys that, could use the spotlight, especially when it comes to, primetime spots, whatever the case may be. You'll see a lot of times that the Lakers will get a primetime slot or like a key marquee matchup game just because of LeBron James, and it's because of the Lakers. But even if LeBron James isn't playing in that game, they're still, getting that marquee matchup or that marquee spot, kind of like the other night. So when you look at it in that sense, it's like, yeah, I can understand what he's saying. But at the same time, it's like players like LeBron and all of the, a lot of the older guys in the league, they do still help strengthen the game because they still give us the sense of competitive basketball in a sense, right? Like, it doesn't matter. They were, to me at least, they were, the last of the guys, or that kind of like that last, that draft class around that time were like around the last of the guys that took basketball to a serious factor to where it's like, okay, we got our money, whatever the case may be, but now it's basketball time. Now we're like, we actually love and appreciate the game of basketball. So when you have the older guys in these spots to teach the younger guys the intricacies of the game of basketball and just to make sure that love, that competitive nature is still there, I think that's, relatively important. But then he can go either way. Shoot, he, definitely has a point, but at the same time, older players are needed, right? They're appreciated just for what they still bring to the game and what you can still learn from them in their old age. So.
All right, that's that. Look, LeBron retiring. I don't give a shit. Don't bother me. I don't know if he hurt in the game or not. I would like to ask a basketball player that question. With that said, final thoughts. Mulich.
Make sure y'all tune in for the rest of the week, throughout the rest of the shows, throughout the rest of the week. I know I said that in reverse, but y'all got to rock with me. Gentlemen's Talk on Wednesday, PBT on Thursday, and we're talking at Ish on Friday. Keep tuning in, keep tapping in, and we can keep bringing y'all this dope ass content. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, we're gonna see y'all throughout the rest of the week. Y'all know the nigga feels be smooth.
What my bro said, man. You already know, man. Tune in to the whole pod, man, to the whole channel, man. You know, I see y'all people on Monday.